Pre-construction condo sales in the GTA have dropped a shocking 81%. And yes, you heard that right. That's 81%. So if you're ever wondering why no one is buying pre-construction condos, stick around because I'm going to explain exactly what's going on, why it's happening, and what this means for both buyers and sellers. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dilyar Murat. I'm a real estate broker here in the Greater Toronto area. I help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate, and I make educational content like this. So I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. So let's get started. So let's start with numbers. The new condo sales have slumped to a 30-year low. We've seen only a 567 new condo sales in the last 3 months. So if you really do the math, that's about 190 condos per month. And that's just not Toronto. That's the entire GTA plus Hamilton. So just to give you an idea of the scale here, we haven't seen numbers that low since 1995, right? So the population have pretty much doubled and the sales are still rock bottom right now. So the question is, why is this all happening right now? The number one reason and the main reason is the price gap. You see, the pre-construction condos and resale condos have a massive price difference. You can find resale condos right now per square foot wise anywhere from $950 to $1,150. Depending on which pockets you're in on average. But as soon as you go over to the pre-construction condos, they start at $1,300 a square foot and go as high as $1,600 to $1,650. So if you look, that's at least a 30% premium for pre-construction condos. And buyers are not willing to pay a 30% premium because that's a huge difference for something they can't even live in for at least 5 to 6 years. So when they're weighing those options, then the resale condos are becoming more appealing, but the resale condos are also hurting, but I'll get to that in a different video. And the problem isn't just price per square foot, right? The problem is that there's just a lot of condos to choose from on the resale side. So buyers are just more picky. They're more picky. They want the nicer units with the best layouts on high floors. They want nice views maybe of the water or the city skyline. They want the bigger units. They want the best parts of the city. They want the best managed buildings. And those are moving fairly quickly because those really small units are not very friendly for or functional for families. But even for people that want to just live there as end users, people want space. And now there's a lot to choose from. Everybody wants space. Another factor here is that the sheer volume of just unsold inventory. So in the last 2 years, almost 7,000 condo units have either been canceled, put on hold by builders, turned into rentals, or got into some type of financial trouble. Now, many people might be surprised when they hear this, but builders don't have unlimited money, right? They need a mortgage just like you and me. Before they ask for financing, they propose a project. So they say, look, this is the land that we have, this is the building that we're going to build. And they do, and they make sales. That's what pre-construction is. They show you the renders and buyers like you go buy it. And when they hit a certain stage, they get all the contracts. Then they go to the bank and say, look, I've already pre-sold 60%, 70% of this. Now I want you to finance me and give me money so I can go and actually build these condos. The problem is because nobody was buying these new construction condos, the builders couldn't start them because they couldn't get financing from the bank. So they either had to cancel the project or postpone it, or just turn them into rentals because the rental market is relatively strong still. So now what happened is you had the surplus of rentals that hit the market. And of course that mixed in with existing rentals, brought down average rent prices a little bit. And some of those mom and pop investors decided to flip their rentals into sales, and that just chased the market down even further. And to really see prices stabilize or even go up, we need to see investors come back to the market. So right now, investors, especially in the condo scene, are becoming pretty much non-existent, right? And investors typically prefer the smaller units. And the reason why is that smaller units, the really small studios, the really, really small one bedrooms, they're actually the most profitable. They're easier to rent because students and singles love them. The turnaround is a lot easier. And number two is that the cash flow wise, it always made sense. But recently, it didn't, right? Rates were too high. Prices are still high. and there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. So investors are just shying away. They're not purchasing any investments, especially condo investments at the moment. So without those investors, the demand for these smaller units are just not there, and then inventory just keeps piling up and driving the prices down. So what's next? Well, you see, if investors don't buy these pre-construction condos, builders will simply not build them. If pre-construction sales continue to drop, meaning if builders just stop building or build less condos, then we might have a bottleneck. We might have an issue in 4 to 5 years from now with the immigration and the new population growth. So it's kind of a catch-22 here, but I think this may be a good thing, because hopefully this kind of helps developers and everyone and have them think differently about actually the sizes of these condos. But if you know me, I've been complaining about the size of these condos for a very long time, because they're just very small. They're not very family friendly. They're not functional. A lot of these newer condos that are being built right now, the layouts I'm not a fan of. They're very small, tight living space, tight bedrooms. You can see that the developers just trying to squeeze in as many units as they possibly can. But I think with what's happening right now in the future, I think maybe builders will start to think differently and perhaps, bring back those better layout condos where people can actually live, not a long bowling alley looking hallways. So to conclude, to understand this real estate market, you really have to know what you're trying to do, right? If you are an end user, and if you have a product that's bigger and that's more friendly to end users or families, then you might do well. Likewise, if you have one of those smaller units, but you have the nice views, higher floors, prime location, you will still do well. But if you have one of those cookie cutter homes or cookie cutter condos, I should say, with tight space and okay locations, then chances are, you kind of have to be competing against a lot of other similar listings, and the market might be really tough for you. So for buyers, you have a lot to choose from right now. Take your time and just be really specific about what you want. I always tell this is the time for condo buyers to be as specific as they possibly can, to write out that long wish list, because you're going to need it. And this is your chance that if you're actually shopping for a condo, to really look into that list and find the best one possible. And if you ever want to talk specifics about your situation, feel free to give me a call. I'll be happy to chat and we'll go over everything together. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye for now.